Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. I'm Steve with Brother Handyman. In this video, we're gonna do some tests on some hole saws. I got quite a few 2-inch hole saws, and I went to the stores and purchased them with my money, and got several different brands. I got them all pretty much the same. They're all bimetal hole saws. None of them have the carbide teeth, because the carbide teeth would be different. So if I would have got like a Lennox with carbide teeth, but then I would have got a Spider without carbide teeth, I don't think that would be a fair comparison. And I'm also using Magic Tap cutting fluid, and all these different things that I'm using, the hole saws, the cutting fluid, I'll have them in the description box below for with affiliated links, so you can check them out. So what we're doing here today, we got Spider. I don't know if you can see that. We got Spider. We have Hercules brand from Harbor Freight, and Spiders from Lowe's. We have Craftsman, Ace, Milwaukee, and finally we have Lennox. So all of these brand new. They've never been used yet. We're going to go ahead and chuck them up in the drill press. Before we get started, we're going to test to see what the drill press is running, what RPMs it's running at. It is set as lowest setting. It claims that the lowest setting is at 220. We're going to see if that's true. We're going to see how close it is to that. Well, also, I'm going to be turning it by hand. Yes, this is not laboratory testing, so none of it's scientific or anything, but I'm going to try to pull it down as close as I can. You know, I'm not going to hog it down where it's going to bind on it and stop, where I have to come back up. I'm just going to apply a little pressure as I go down, let it cut as it should be. And so, now that we got that all cleared away, let's get into it. Let's get on with the... Alright guys, here we are at the drill press. And I got the tape on it, but I'm going to have to switch it out. But I want to show you what's going to happen. So I'm going to have to put some like blue painter's tape or something to dull in it. So whenever you have your reflective tape, it'll show. But I'm going to go ahead and show you what's going to happen if you don't do anything. You just put the tape on your drill press or whatever you're doing. Okay, so as you can tell, it's throwing weird numbers out there from 180 to, 1,000 RPMs. And as you can tell, the speed of that is not even changing. And that is what I meant by all the shiny stuff. So you got to cover that up so whenever you put your tape on it, you can see what it is. So I'm going to go ahead and get some painter's tape. I'm going to wrap it up, put the reflective tape on the outside, and we'll test it again. Alright guys, here we go. We got the painter's tape on it. We'll go ahead and flip it on, and we're going to test it. And as you can see, it was a consistent 182.2, which I think that's pretty good. I mean, well, it claims it's supposed to be 220, but I'm fine with it being 180, because whenever you're drilling in the mild steel, you don't want it where it's so slow that it's not making any progress, but you don't want it so fast where you're tearing up your bits and messing things up. So, according to 3 of these, to be clear on which ones I'm talking about, they have an Ace, okay, and right here, the mild steel says, let's see. There it is. 150 to 195. And 180 is in there. So that right there be fine. We have this Milwaukee one. Right there you can see mild steel 170. So since my drill press is at slowest setting, that's all we got. And 180 is pretty good. It's really not bad. On this Hercules one, mild steel says 170. Now the Lennox, I can't find anywhere on the packaging that states what the RPM should be. Neither does the Craftsman. And last but not least, the Spider, in which it is mild steel at 220. So, but we'll run them all at what we have here. Currently, I have the Warrior brand bi-metal saw in the chuck. Today we won't be testing that one particularly. We'll be doing all the other 6, the brand new ones, and seeing how well they perform. Doing your normal wear and tear like you were to do in your shop. So I'm going to go ahead and pull one of these off. We're going to do the Spider first and see how well it performs. Hey guys, well, so now how the hole saws performed. I think they did rather well. I did notice that most of them performed better on the second and third rounds than the first, and I think it has a lot to do with the aggressiveness of the teeth being brand new. So I think they did pretty good. And now I also noticed with this, it has nothing to do with the hole saws per se, but the the tubing notcher, there's thread, and then there's the shaft above it, which is smaller. So when you thread some of these hole saws on, it won't hit the top because you run out of threads in the hole saw. So I found putting a washer in there, you can tighten it up pretty good and snug it up. I used Magic Tap, like I said earlier in the video, but I think they all performed pretty well. Now the last clip was the Warrior, which I understand that, and I know it didn't get a brand new one. And the only reason why I didn't get a brand new one was because I couldn't buy a single one. I had to buy a whole kit, and I really didn't need to buy a whole kit. So I went ahead and did that, and I was just kind of seeing, I've used it in the past, several times. This job I'm doing, building a fence, this wasn't the first time I used it. It wasn't even the second time. So it can kind of give you a baseline. I've always used cutting fluid on my drill bits and hole saws, but I think they perform fairly well. You had the Spider, which that one really took a long time to get that hole cut, but most of the other ones were in a decent range. I don't think 3 minutes is bad, but then again, you cannot hog down on a drill press at 180 RPMs, because if you do, it will bite and it will stop. So you really can't hog down on it. Now, if you're spinning it at 3,000 RPMs, yeah, it's going to keep on spinning, but you're going to tear up your hole saw. So I think these guys did a pretty good weld. I didn't do a vigorous testing on them. I'm not trying to damage them or break them. I'm trying to use them as intended to see how well they perform. I don't think it's necessary to like really get at it and see if I can destroy them. I mean, that is not the purpose of them. So, but if you like this kind of content where I just test random stuff, because I think it's important to know what these do in a real world setting as opposed to some YouTubers. But I like what some YouTubers do where they test it to see how well they perform, how much will they go through before they break. I get it. I don't need to know all that kind of information. I want to know real world type of testing. Will it perform doing real world type of stuff? I mean, I'm not going to hog down on it. So why do I need to watch somebody hog down on it and see how bad it damages it? I don't need to. But if you like this kind of content, hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, so you don't miss an upload. Hit the like key so other people can learn from it. Appreciate you watching, and see you in the next video.